You want to get high, man?
Let's stimulate your mind.
Get up, Chucky!
What have we got here? A fucking comedian.
Rojan Kim?
Hello, and welcome to the Rojan Kim cast. It's me, Rojan Kim. Thank you for joining me this August 24th, 2020. This is episode 191. It's the last week of August. Hooray, Labor Day is coming. Huh? Isn't that great? The Republican National Convention is this week. Let's just pretend that there's no pandemic, huh? How about just for once? Come on. This has been going on for 6 months now. 6 months, 5 months, whatever. Who knows? Who even cares, right? Do we have to talk about it all the time? Do we have to? Let's not. Let's just pretend it's not. It's normal, okay? Let's just pretend everything's just completely normal, or whatever normal is. I don't really like this idea of people let's get back to normal, or I wish things were back the way they were. What was the way they were, huh? What was that? Were you having a great time? Were you fucking on the high on the hog? What was going on, huh? What's more exciting than what's going on now? Has this ever happened in anyone's life? Not even your grandparents' lifetime has the state and the media been able to coordinate to get entire societies to just shut down their business, just shut it down. Right? This is not like me saying it's real or it's not real or anything. I mean, even to suggest that I'm suggesting that to some is like, oh no, has Rojan gone Alex Jones? Does he know? Does he think that the coronavirus is a hoax? Does he think it's just a Democrat hoax like Trump said? Trump actually never said that. See, and just by saying that, now I'm like, he's a Trumper. He's a Trumper. He's a he's a Trump voter. I don't really want to vote. I'm not going to vote. And then that's like, well, that's even worse. You might as well not voting. Not voting period might as well be voting for Trump. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. What if I went to vote for Trump? Then what? No. So the only acceptable thing to do is to vote for Biden, even though he's going to lose. That's fuck you. All right. I'd rather talk about the pandemic than politics. I feel like in some ways, I'd rather keep talking about people dying. They're dying out there. Oh, it's mutating. It's killing the kids now. Now children are dying, everybody. Look at the kids. Look at this. The wards are filled with children. Children are just flooding the hospital hallways. You have to step over bodies of children. I mean, this is a nightmare. We have to triage children. They're everywhere. It's just children. We can't do elective surgeries on anybody, much less adults. Okay, we got to kick all the adults out of the hospitals because the kids, all the children are just dying. They're dead. The children are dying. See, that would be more exciting. Now that would be, but this is not exciting. We're so bored that we are back to Obama year stuff, police brutalities, shootings. I mean, it's a terrible thing, but I grew up during the Rodney King era, so this is not a new fuck the police coming straight from the underground. That's old to me. That's what I grew up with. So now I feel like, well, we have a lot more video. We sure have a lot more video, but nothing's really. The Democrats picked a cop. You know what I'm saying? That they have a cop for VP. You think anything's going to happen? Nothing's going to happen, man. They're not going to. You know what I mean? I do feel like some people have asked me, hey, why don't you make fun of Trump more? Why don't you take on the Republicans? Because they're like, maybe that's why you are a Republican, because you don't criticize the Republicans. And here's the thing: Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, fucking SNL, all these people got it. Samantha Bee, John Oliver, what? They got that. You know what I mean? They're all over Trump. I mean, they're all over Trump. They're all over the Republicans. They're all over that. So I'm going to add to that? Could just go watch TV. You don't need that, why I like making fun of the Democrats is because of the hypocrisy. I mean, the Republicans used to have their own hypocrisy. It was the sweetest hypocrisy because they were anti-gay and stuff, and they all ended up being gay. That's hilarious. I mean, that's why there's nothing funny about being gay. Well, it is if it's a Republican who ends up being gay, doing meth, slamming meth, and fucking just taking it up the ass like for days straight. That's hilarious. Okay, not because of the fact that he's gay, because of the hypocrisy. The hypocrisy is hilarious. The hypocrisy is hilarious. So. But now what's happened is that because the narrative is now that the right is evil, that the Republicans are bad guys, that Trump is a bad man, he's a racist man, he's a retard man, like all those bad things. He's a bad man. And by the way, it's kind of harsh to call retards bad, just because he's retarded doesn't mean he's bad. That means there's hope. There should be hope. We should be trying. Anyways. So whatever. Maybe he's not retarded. He's actually a genius. He's an evil genius. He knows exactly what he's doing, the retard. Anyways, there's no fun in that. You know what? In fact, so many comics have already talked about how it's not fun to make fun of Trump and the right anymore, that even this is boring to me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to do what I do, which isn't just making fun of Democrats, but it is making fun of the hypocrisy. It's just a moral stance, right? The people who are Democrats voting blue no matter who, they're taking on a moral stance and saying like, we're fighting the evil, we're doing what's good, and we are doing this. And meanwhile, the party, the leaders of the party, the people they're putting up for president will do nothing to reform this quote unquote evil that you're talking about. Prison reform, police reform, economic reform, military industrial complex reform, any of that stuff. You think Biden and Harris are going to do any? They're fucking on the take. They're on the take. They're all on the take. If anything, Trump was the only guy not on the take, and he's all pissed that he wasn't. So now he's got himself in on the take, and now everybody's arresting everybody. All the guys who are trying to get in on the take because they're in on the take, and you can't get in on the take unless you bow down or you act right. You got to act right if you want to get in on the take. You got to act like Joe. You got to be like, I care about you. You can't be like, fuck you, you fake news. You can't do that. They don't like that. They don't. The powers that be don't like that. What is it called? It's deco. I don't know. It's fucking whatever. Gauche. You know what I mean? It's like fucking. It's considered the high society. You don't do that. So whatever. Here, I'll tell you something. Like Republicans. Yeah, they're having a convention. It's gonna be just as lame. Okay, it may be lamer, or I don't know, maybe less lame, just because there'd be more of a QAnon kind of like a crazy person vibe. But both sides are crazy. But that's the whole thing. It's like if you're all in on either side, it's just like, I don't know, baseball team nonsense. It's like religious fervor. I don't prescribe to any of it. I just can't believe in either side. What I do believe in is that the hypocrisy of the Democrats is funny, and then Trump is funny. I mean, that's what's funny about what's going on, right? These people are going to destroy us. Both sides are going to kill us all. It's hilarious, right? Yeah, I tell you what. Okay, look here. Here's the thing about the Republicans, right? They started a torture program, but then guess what? The Democrats, under Pelosi, like when she was Speaker of the House last time, they didn't prosecute the torture program. They didn't go after anybody. They just looked the other way. And then when Obama got in office, he said, I'm looking forward, not backward. And then that was that. And then he was like, we tortured some folks. And then that was it. That was how the Democrats dealt with the torture program, right? The Republicans started a torture program. They're like, yeah, we need to torture. Yeah, we got to do it by any means necessary. And then it turned out that the torturing, it's not really working. And a lot of people killed about 100 people. Like 100 people died or something. I don't remember. It's like at least 100 died, they think. They don't know. I mean, they don't really. They were the current head of the CIA that Trump picked destroyed. They called her Bloody Gina Haspel because she was had queen torture in a Thailand black site, and then she ended up destroying all the tape evidence for that, and that gets you bumped up to the top. You understand? So even if Trump's all like drain the swamp or whatever, it's the same motherfucking creatures of the swamp, right? Torturers, murderers, people who are willing to look the other way, destroy evidence, lie, do everything they can to protect the powers that be, so that they can just keep doing what they do. And by letting them do that and helping them, enabling them, you get to the top. You get bumped up. You get bumped up. That's how you do it. You know what I mean? Is it working hard? Sure. Part of it's working hard. That's part of it. But the other part is swallowing some really bad shit. Just swallowing some shit and like just moving on with your life, right? Like just moving on like as if nothing, you know, hey, no, that's just business as usual. And if you can do that, if you can show that cold-blooded sociopathic ability to just get the job done, no matter what the cost, that's a ticket to the top. Now, that's what the leaders like to see. So I'd say both sides are complicit in that. You know, Republicans and Democrats, all of them. You know, just all of us, just anybody. I don't even just if you want to be president, you shouldn't be trusted. You know, and that's really what it comes down to. But I do think it's interesting that now what we really have in this country are these two competing conspiracy narratives, depending on how deep you are entrenched into the politics, you know, like U.S., I guess, national politics or whatever, you know, because, and what am I, one second, I'm closing this door because there's somebody like drilling. Okay. Competing conspiracies going on right now. So what do we have? Well, I feel we have the QAnon. Are you familiar with the QAnon? I'm not a deep QAnon guy. Like, I don't read the Q drops, and I don't even know. I'm assuming it started on 4chan, just like everything else. The little I understand about it is that the QAnon, so Q stands for a level of security clearance. That's supposed to be clearance Q, clearance level Q, which I guess is the highest sort of like top secret level for a civilian or something. And then the Anon is just what 4chaners call each other. They call each other Anons because they're anonymous. So that's Q Anon. There you go. And then so Q, this mysterious entity known as Q, not to be confused with the Q from Star Trek The Next Generation, who could snap his fingers and bend reality to his will. He belonged to a race of gods or something. Anyways, it's not that Q. It would be cool, though, if it was Q, if it was fucking Q from Star Trek dropping notes about how Trump is trying to shut down the global pedophile ring. Because that's what QAnon, that's the central thing. It kind of like spurs off of Pizzagate. Remember the old Pizzagate about how there was a pizza shop where there were fucking these kids there? Because the Podesta this was a left-wing thing, right? This was like a left-wing. Well, I guess it was a semi-right-wing conspiracy about the left wing, but it came with the WikiLeaks dumps and went through the emails, and there's all this like cheese pizza. There's like pizza iconography and pizza talk and a lot of weird, you know, there's like coded language stuff that they think had to do with child trafficking. Maybe, I don't know. But now, the next iteration of this is that Trump. Now that Trump's in there, his job is to take out. That's where like this Tom Hanks thing, Oprah Winfrey. Yeah, Oprah Winfrey. Why can't I say her fucking name? Oprah Winfrey. Tom Hanks. Pedophiles. Right? That's what the whole QAnon conspiracy is about, is how there's a network of Hollywood and DC pedophiles that are running everything, and that's what the Epstein thing is all about, and the Ghislaine Maxwell, you know, there's like all this is intertwined, and Trump is in there, and there's like, he's rooting them out, you know, he's rooting them out of the shadows, he's getting all the pedophiles out of the government, and you know, and there's different drops, it'd be like, this is going to happen, and sometimes things do happen, and things, sometimes they don't, as I imagine things would if you were trying to, if you were really like whoever this person is, a group of people, they understand who they're talking to, this base, and they also understand how to use media and things that happen to create a narrative that's not, because it can't be like out in the open, right? So it has to be like, you have to like present pieces and allow people to put them together to tell the story themselves. It's actually very effective. It's a very effective way of spreading propaganda or stories, or even just telling stories, right? Is just to give them, like spreading a rumor, right? You just give them a couple hints, couple hints. She was drinking. I saw them going home together. I'm not saying, what happened after that, but you can fill in the details. Oh, that's human behavior. So you do that, though, with something like, Trump is going after, Trump is going after, and, now we got someone like Laura Loomer getting elected to Congress. You get people, it shows that these people are out there and activated and voting. Okay, they're out there, they're voting, but and now a lot of people are like, well, this is dangerous. This is dangerous that people, are like politically minded and out there because they think Trump is stopping a global pedophile ring. But is it? That's really my question to all of that. Is that bad? Why is that bad? Like they think the guy's fucking stopping pedophiles. I mean, it's the most ridiculous. Why would he do that? What does he give a fuck? As long as he's making money, why would he care? Why would he care? But whatever. Let's say he's doing good, right? Like let him believe that. Let him believe that, because the other side is just as equally deluded into believing their side is doing good, right? Look at the whole thing out of the DNC. The convention was about how they're the party of decency and compassion, or whatever. Like, we have nice feelings. We would never say bad things. We will put you in jail and shoot you as you run away. But we would never call you anything, any of the letter words, the N's or the G's or the F's or the R's. Like, we wouldn't call you any of those words. But we will shoot you where you stand. We will shoot you and your family. We will arrest your whole family and send them to work making sunglasses for Oakley. Okay, we'll do that, but we won't call you names while we do it. You know what I mean? We'll kick you out of your house. We will kick you out of your house and let's take the bank side, okay? While you go and scrounge for food in a trash can, and then we're gonna arrest you for scrounging food in the trash can, and then probably set you back out on the street because we don't want you in prison. We don't have any room for you. So get out there. You can live in a tent and just live in a tent. You could do that, but while you live in that tent, you will have dignity. You will have human dignity, and you will not be called any of these words that we don't like anymore. You will not be called those words because you're a human being who is now shitting in a bucket. But you have a tent. At least you have a tent, and that's the best we can all hope for, is that we have tents as the economy continues to crumble and the value of the dollar is driven worthless. It's just driven into the ground. The dollar means nothing. We're going to live in the Weimar Republic, and we're going to need fucking bird scooters to carry around cash. You have to have a giant duffel bag on a bird scooter in order to just have enough cash to get, just like some bread. You want to buy a loaf of bread, you need some wheels. You need wheels of some kind. Cart, it'll take you forever. You get a cart, someone on a bird scooter will come by and knock your ass over and just grab your cash and scoot off. Like, you need bird scooters to survive, not just because of the mobility, but also because of the, the app lets you know who's got money and food. You know what I mean? Like, so the bird app will be updated to let you know who you can rob as you're riding a bird, which I think is, that's knowing your market. That's the whole thing. You got to know your audience, right? You got to know your audience. So, yeah, so the Democrats, right? They're no different in the way that they have their own conspiracy theory, all right? Their conspiracy theory has been Russiagate. Their conspiracy theory has been this whole time that Trump is a puppet of the Kremlin and the election was illegitimate. It was hacked by the Russians, stolen by the Russians. And both sides are now, they put out that Senate intelligence report that says, this guy Kilimnik was definitely a GRU agent. So that proves it, even though we couldn't prove it back then, but now we did. And then, when you look at that report, you can find out that basically you have to, once again, take the word of the CIA. There's no real hard evidence. You just have to take the word of the CIA. And according to the CIA, who coincidentally, the guy who was the whistleblower, Eric Charmella or whatever the fuck the name, you can't even say his name because you're supposed to protect his name, but fuck reality winner, fuck her, right? She's in jail. Anyways, okay. Russiagate, right? Russiagate. It's all based on lies. Basically, that's the whole thing. It's like, Rojan's a Republican. Now, hey, look, it's all based on if you go through, look at it here. You know who you can. Here's a journalist you can turn to who's not right wing. Okay, in case you're afraid that the guy on the right wing side will make your brain hurt. So okay, I'll get you a lefty, progressive journalist, Aaron J. Mate. Okay, you want to go Google anything he's done about Russiagate, and he will provide you systematic. He's just like a very detailed breakdown of all the contentions the left has been making, and then how all of that leads to basically taking the CIA's word. So that's all we got, and that's why they got nothing. They still got nothing. Okay. So the whole thing is essentially a conspiracy theory that's been propagated not only by the government, but by the media. But that's fine. Whatever. And everybody's buying into that. Story makes sense. Instead of believing that, we lost that election because we ran a shitty campaign and a shitty candidate. No, we were stolen by the Russians. Yeah, let's double down on that and let's run that again. Let's do that again 4 years later. 4 years. And the best they have is the last guy's vice president and identity politics. But a cop and pro-Wall Street, so don't worry. Don't worry, we're still on your side. We're just saying a lot of stuff. We say lots of stuff, just like Hillary Clinton said. That was part of what was revealed in the WikiLeaks dump, that the Russians did not hack. Okay, everybody says the Russians hacked it. It wasn't the NSA says it wasn't hacked. Okay, anyways, I sound like a deranged lunatic, but whose side are you on? I'm not on a side. That's the thing. Both sides suck. Okay, that's really my main contention. Both sides suck. Both sides are using children's stories in order to get people to vote on their emotions. Okay, they're not really going to break down to you why there's no end to the wars. There's no end. There's going to be no end. There's 7 of them. No end in sight. I mean, our choices really are between the Republicans who started 2 wars and the Democrats who turned them into 7. That's who. Who do you want next? I don't know. I mean, it's hard to know. If anything, Trump's the only president in the last 16 years who hasn't started another war. Or 20 years. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't at least, he's kind of trying to start one in Iran and Venezuela, but, and trust me, every president needs a war, they need to start, and Obama got away with, that's like a LeBron James level of fucking, give credit where credit's due. The man out-presidented fucking Bush, right? He fucking did more, and nobody's mad at him for it. That's slick as fuck. You know what? Black people do everything better. I think that's not racist, right? That's fine to say. Even being president, not in a way that he was like a good man, but really being a caretaker of the military-industrial complex. Like that's some Jordan-esque, you know what I mean? Like I don't know who else is good in sports, but fucking George Washington Carver-esque. You know what I'm saying? Like, genius. Anyways. Is society collapsing? That's what this is. That's what seems to be in the air, right? Everybody's like, it's like we're on the brink of collapse. It could be civil war. It could be fucking asteroids coming. Like anything could happen. Something could happen. Anything. Something. And it's a thing. I feel like I saw this thing that it was an article about how I think they just did research on literature of the past, and they found out that every generation has felt that it's the last generation. You know what I mean? Like every generation has felt that society will collapse, or humanity will be destroyed, or there'll be an apocalypse, or every society like has a generation that believes that they are the last one until they make the next one. And then that one believes they're the next one. And this time we have this sort of ability, because of the internet, we have a Tower of Babel-like ability to all join in and share in the same delusion, right? The Tower of Babel is kind of this metaphor, right? Where if, like everybody can talk to each other like freely, and you all share the same delusion of being greater than God, then you'll all fucking build a tower. You'll build this tower and go back. And isn't that a metaphor for what we're doing now? Aren't we just a big old fuck you to God or Mother Nature or whoever the fuck you believe in? You know what I mean? Like, we don't give a fuck. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. And we're going to lie while we do it. We're going to be like, ooh, the lives lost, boo-hoo, poor babies dying. And then we kill babies overseas. We kill babies with robots. We kill babies who's starving. We just kill them. We don't care. We say we do because you got it. You got to say you do. You can't just, that's the thing, the thing about Trump is like, what's next? A guy who just fucking loves killing babies, who's going to get up there and is like, yeah, we kill babies. Yeah, we eat them. Yeah, there's really lizard people up here. You're going to ruin the whole thing. You're going to tell everybody that we kill and fuck and eat babies. Like, you can't do that, man. All right. But mistrust in our institutions is at an all-time high. Paranoia about the collapse of civilization is at an all-time high. The price of gold is at an all-time high. Gold is at an all-time high. I mean, it's approaching it. It was above 2,000 for a bit. It's dipped down again. It might go back up. There's probably going to be a rally because everybody's like, we got to get gold. Because the U.S. dollar, as the world's reserve currency, is on its last legs. That's what a lot of people think. A lot of people think that it's like some of the evidence is that countries like Russia and China have been dumping U.S. dollars and buying gold. A lot of countries have been buying gold. Even Bank of America has stated like gold's probably going to be $3,000 by the end of the year or by next year or whatever. And it's under 2,000 now. So they're projecting that it's going to go up by like 30%. I mean, that's huge, right? Or 50%. So what the fuck? Should we buy gold? Is that where? But you're gonna buy gold? Okay. Well, I mean, maybe you should. Maybe you should put some of your money in gold or Bitcoin. A Bitcoin is another. It's like a digital asset currency, right? You gotta. Here's the thing. I think it's too easy nowadays to buy into stocks, to buy into Bitcoin, to buy into commodities like gold. I mean, I know it was because I have apps. I got these apps and I was able to do it. But I did take some time to try to learn about the markets and try to figure out like what I'm doing. And I may, of course, lose all my money. That's very possible. No, I'm pretty sure I won't because I don't have that much money, so it's fine. But here's the thing. I was listening to Tim Dillon's podcast. Tim Dillon, great comedian. Tim Dillon is younger than I am. So, we're talking about millennial. He's in the solid millennial age. His audience is probably millennials, some older, some younger, some, I don't know what the fuck I am. I'm like an X or millennial, X-millennial or whatever the fuck, right? But anyways, one of his sponsors now is a broker that deals in gold, okay? So Tim Dillon, who typically used to sell things like, I don't know, fucking MeUndies and the therapy thingy and like cereal or whatever. Like these niche internet companies now has a gold broker, which I guess congrats to Tim for fucking nailing that sponsor. That's got to be some cash, huh? Gold, huh? Some gold money. Hopefully you got some gold stocks or something, buddy. But the fact that they're advertising on his podcast and basically targeting millennials means that there is an oncoming rush. There's going to be an oncoming rush into gold, into precious metals. Like people are stocks. Okay, so there's like all this stimulus money and unemployment money, and people have just been making cash, right? But they've got nowhere to spend it. But they've got these apps. So they've been using the apps to buy things like stocks and commodities, Bitcoin, things like that, because that shit is so easy now. But the thing is, what is the market really but a giant casino in some ways, right? It is a giant casino in the way that you are dealing with probabilities and you are dealing with probability of loss. And the house always wins. Here's the thing. When you deal with these brokers, you're not necessarily competing against the entire market. You're kind of competing with the broker in some ways. Like it could be in the broker's best interest for you to suffer a loss, if they're covering some plays that they made and they need to do it by you making a loss. Not to say that that's what's happening, but I would do it. Like I would manipulate things. If I could, I would manipulate things, Like, I mean, I think it's human nature. I mean, I'm not going to do anything totally illegal, but I'll figure out what the line is and get right up to it, right? Why wouldn't you? Or even if, like I think I talked about before, if you're like a whale who has tons of money, you could just move prices and just swing the market in one way so that you just flush everybody out, and then just buy back, right? So what the fuck am I talking about? Someone might be saying. So for instance, gold, when gold was over $2,000, that's at an all-time high, and lots of people were buying gold, and some I'd even say it was overbought. Like too many people buying gold, not enough people selling. So one person who's holding tons of gold at that moment could just sell a shitload of it and just flood the market with the gold. Just sell it, right? Sell it, and then people will start buying it. But as more and more gold enters the market, right, it's all supply and demand, right? As the supply goes up, the demand goes down, the price goes down, right? The price starts sinking, right? So then it dips down, right? So then all those people who bought in above 2,000, now they've just all lost money, right? Because the price is being pushed down. So now they're going to start selling. Some of them can't hold. They're like, I can't lose this much money. And they start selling. So the shit is like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Price goes down, hits a floor or whatever, bounces back up, and at that point, that's when the big whale comes back, right? And then just puts in the money that he just... So basically, you're buying your same gold back for less money, and you're just taking that profit. And that's what short selling is, right? There's a little lesson for you guys about the markets. That was not my intention. I guess what I'm trying to say is that gold... The fact that gold is being advertised on a comedy podcast that's... whose target demographic is millennials and younger. The fact that that's happening is probably a bad sign. I don't know. I don't know if it's a good sign. I mean, it just means that a lot of retail money is going to be flooding into the gold market. You know what that means? That means it's like Joe Schmoes like you and me are just buying gold, but they're not actually getting physical gold. They're buying paper gold, right? It's not real. It's like contracts for gold, but for instance, if everybody decides to cash in their gold or whatever, like give me the gold and there's not enough supply, maybe the price will shoot up. Maybe. Or maybe the price will go down. I mean, we don't know. I mean, the market is crazy because there's a lot of manipulation and all these derivatives and stuff. So that's the whole thing. So my advice to you is to buy gold. And use the promo code Rogan to get 50% off your gold. 50% off? So many people would buy gold. Listen, here's the thing. The markets, fucking the markets, they go up, they go down. And that's basically what I've learned. You got your price, and from the price will either go up or it'll go down. That's it. That's like, we think it's, I mean, of course you'd be like, we think it's going to go down to here and then go up here. Or we think it's going to go up here and go down there, right? But it will go up or down a lot or a little. Sometimes it goes up a lot. Sometimes it goes up a little. Sometimes it goes down a little. Sometimes it goes down a lot. That's it. That's the market in a nutshell. And then it's just like, then it's all about trying to predict when the price will go up. Well, when is the price going to go up? Well, then one of the questions you ask is it going up now? Well, is it? Well, yeah, the price is going up now. Well, then it's probably going to go up. Okay. So then it's just going to keep going up or better. I'm like, no. The surest time for the price to go down is when the price has gone up a bunch. I'm like, what? Like, yeah. So the best way of knowing where the price is going up is if the price is going up, but then that's also the best way of knowing if the price is going down. Exactly. Right? Whoa, really? Right? Yeah? Yeah, because then when that happens, the price starts going down, and then it'll just keep going down, right? Because then people are going to be like, is the price going down? Well, is it? Yeah, it's going to keep going down. But then at some point, it keeps going down to some point that everybody's like, well, it can't go down anymore. We're going to just fucking start buying. So then that's when it starts going up. And there you go. That's the market, guys. I don't know. So good luck to you. If you've got what it takes to play the markets, then that's what it is. I mean, this is of course for comedic effect. I'm talking just about how, how it is just up and you can just reduce it down to up and down. Yes. I mean, I get everything is that though, right? You can make some money. You can lose some money. I mean, casinos are more fun, but I guess this is more acceptable. It's like less degenerate, I guess, but it's just as fucking obsessive. It's just that's the thing why I stopped. I tried to start like trading in the day, it's like day trading or whatever, but like you gotta be so obsessed with it, and it just brings out so many OCD tendencies, and then next thing I know, I'm just looking at charts all day, and I'm just wasting my life, So that's why I decided against that. So that's a little bit about the markets for you. Should I wrap this up? Maybe I should wrap it up. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to the Rojan Kimcast. Please follow me on on Twitter and Instagram. Go find me on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Google, all the podcast places. You can find me. And I don't know. Until next time. Thank you.